Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Welcome to another edition of the Balking Dead, guys, where there is no sleep for the wicked. It is Friday, and we're coming off a fucking injury again, and McClanning us, costing us a winning day. And to be honest, it's just frustrating to say the least. I think I bet 7 people this year to be pulled due to injury, with 5 of them going to Tommy John. So I get his velo was down the first 2 innings, but it did come back. And to pull a guy who's screaming at you to stay out there and that he's fine is just frustrating, is all I can say. Hope he's okay, and by the looks of it, he is, guys. And they were calling it back tightness, is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one. And we're on to today. And we got a treat. Spin Doc Sports is joining us to talk the next best thing to God, and that's pitching props. How you doing, my guy? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Had that charity golf tournament last Friday, so I couldn't participate, but back in the saddle today, and ready to go, man. Ready to go. This is a nice card. It really is. Normally I cut my list down to some finalists to run some really deep metrics pretty quick, but this one took me a while today. So I got it down, but this one took me a while to cut down. There was a lot on the surface I liked.
Yeah, I'm glad you got a lot on the surface you liked. This is one of those days where I just want to beat my head into the walls because some guys I like, it's raining, or then I need lineups, and now Laureano just got fucking scratched, so there goes 30% of whiff percentage there. But let's just get this show rolling and start talking about these guys. As you guys already know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PubSports on your first deposit. They will match you up to 100, minimum of 25. As you already know, we do have another sponsor, Dubby, guys, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. Simply by scanning the QR code on screen, you will get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on earth, PubSports, that is. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the world, Big Show Picks. You guys know the drill. Hit the like button if you already have it, and make sure you have them notification bells on. On this show, we will compare the best lines available when first open to the best line available 30 minutes prior to the show, and then we will compare them to what PrizePicks has to offer. First guy on the board, Black Jesus, Jesus Luzardo versus the Pirates, number 59 in the Black Book, has a 27% strikeout percentage on the year with a nice 6.3 walk percentage to go with it. Open them up on FanDuel, 7+ minus 120, and the best line available was on BetMGM at 7+ at +105. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, whereas hits allowed under over are at a 4.5. Projected lineup for your Buccos is 7 righties and 2 lefties. K per 9 this season. He has a 10.5 at home where he's at today, a 9.7 on the road, and pretty much been the same each way. Lefties, righties, 10.3 versus the left-handed side with a K per 9 of 10 versus the right-handed side. What you got to say about Jesus? And I'm sure it's going to be a little bit what I have to say. I have a feeling.
Well, it depends. I saw the projected lineup, and they might even try, if you're Pittsburgh, you might even try to run less lefties out there. I know you probably have to have Jack in the lineup tonight, but other than that, Luzardo at home strikes out 40% of the lefties that he faces. Granted, it's not as many as from the right-hand side, but 40% is 40%. So even if you run 2 lefties up there, you're probably looking at least 1 strikeout, maybe 2 in the time that he faces them. So then you go to the rest of the lineup and think, can he get this number? History would say that he can. In his last 5, 4-1 to this number with hits against the Royals, Padres, Angels, Giants, and 1 miss against the Mariners of all teams. But, every now and then that happens. So when I look at Luzardo here, I do see that he has an 81st percentile whiff rating. And looking at all the Pirates swing metrics in total, they're not terrible. They're pretty good at not swinging outside of the zone, which Luzardo has an above average chase rating. They also have a below average swinging strike rate at 10.3% over the last 20 days in about 700 plate appearances. So this one for me will depend on, because over the last 20 to 30 days, against left-handed pitching, the Pirates are walking 11.2% of the time. Luzardo's walk rating, pretty decent, in the 6 to 7 range. So there are a number of things on both sides of this one for me. The 6.5 seems like the right number for me. I have not fully decided on Luzardo yet, but it's probably going to be a pass for me because with him being at home against a team where their strikeout percentage against lefties recently isn't terrible. I mean, it's 22.5 over the last month or so. That's not bad. But when I look at this one, I see that a lot of Luzardo's main strengths are things that the Pirates are average or above average to. So this line seems set pretty correctly to me.
All right. Now I get to talk me some Black Jesus versus these Pirates, guys, who over the last 200 plate appearances versus the lefties, they're walking in an elite 12.3%. They're bottom 10 in strikeout percentage, where they're 10th through 15th in every hitting category. But like we said yesterday with Garrett, when we ran him yesterday, guys, is who the fuck have they seen in that time span? J.P. Sears, who had 6 strikeouts in 4.2 innings, and then Jordan Montgomery, who hit the over 4.5, had 5 and 5.2 innings of work, where the highest K percentage of both of those two guys is a 23.2%, guys. And Braxton Garrett yesterday actually has a lower strikeout percentage than what we are coming into today with Jesus. Now, the fucking problem is Braxton Garrett went out and had the game of his life yesterday, struck out 13 fucking batters in 7 innings of work. Now, when I go back and look what lefties have they seen in the last month that I would bet on, how about fucking none? So the only 3 guys in the last month that I would put my money on have all hit their overs versus this Pirates team. Now, this is what sucks. Is I have to only go a half unit here, guys, on the over 6.5. I've got to temper my expectations simply because Braxton fucking Garrett. I've seen it too many times, guys, where a team strikes out that many times versus the same fucking side of the plate, where the next day they're just going to come out swinging first pitch type shit. Now, is that going to not put them down? That might. But this is a spot where I do look to run them, guys, at the end of the day. So when I go back and go through it, and it's just this time for me just to get in here, guys, on him. This is a spot. They haven't seen him, period. No one's seen him last year. We got our City Connect jerseys on, guys, and that means the fucking crowd showing up today, guys. For some reason, they all show up when it's City Connect Day, and they get to put on those teal fucking blue hats and pretend like they're a winning baseball team again. So If it wasn't for him having a monster day, guys, I'd be on the full unit play, guys. But like I said, I have to temper expectations after a monster day like yesterday. But like I said, they haven't seen nobody in those numbers for me to be afraid of. And every one of my guys just keep doing what they're supposed to versus that team. And that's cash fucking tickets. So I got in at plus 125. I think it has to be a plus value spot, a plus money spot for me to even get in here, guys. When they opened it at minus 120, I wasn't going to budge. I thought it should have been an even money bet to start and then give me the plus money because of what Garrett fucking did. So, yeah, I got in there for a half a unit. Now we're going to talk of some Zac Eflin. But before we do, we've got 50 live and 27 likes. Really? Really? I mean, if we don't at least get 50 likes, bro, like, man. All right, guys, number 61 in the black book, Zac Eflin versus the Royals this year has a 25.5 strikeout percentage with an elite 4.3 walk percentage to go with it. Opening line was on FanDuel at 6+ minus 144. The best line available is on MGM to that 6+ at a minus 145. PrizePicks has him at a 6, whereas hits allowed under over are at a flat 5. Projected lineup today is 5 righties and 4 lefties. I will be checking lineups if you see me looking down. And that's because I'm looking for lineups for guys like this today. K per 9, he has an 8.9 at home, 9.1 on the road, where righties he's striking out with a 9.4 K per 9 and lefties with an 8.6. Good old Zac Eflin, man. What you got on him?
Yeah, Eflin has been an interesting case for me this year. I've been on him. I've been against him. I've won more than I've lost on him, but there are some pitchers that I look pretty exclusively for overs or pretty exclusively for unders. Eflin's a guy where really it can cut either way for this one. He does have a 78th percentile chase rating. However, when you look at the Royals, while strikeout wise, they've been horrifically bad, chasing the ball, not that much. They are just slightly above league average for that, and they're almost significantly above league average, at least in the last month, in chase contact, which at over 66%. Anytime that you chase a pitch and you're making contact 2/3 of the time or more, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. The rest of their swing metrics where they struggle is inside the zone. Their inside the zone contact rating is horrible. Their strikeout and contact ratings against guys who can throw with velo is horrible. So it's not so much the pitches that they've been chasing. It's the ones that are just placed right in the zone or thrown at high velo that they just can't hit. So Eflin's fastball, it's pretty decent. It's not like fantastic. So, I look at this one where, the Royals also don't walk very much, only walking at about 8.3%. So this one for me is one where I would rather put in like a little parlay to bring this one down to 5+. Not that I don't necessarily think that Eflin's going to hit this 5.5, but at least on DraftKings right now, good Lord, is this thing juiced? Minus 160. I normally just advise just not paying that period for a prop unless I'm supremely confident. So I can't get with the juice on this one. And taking an under for the Royals on the road is a very shaky proposition. So what I'd rather do with Eflin is I'd rather take him with somebody else who I think might be who I can alt down by 1 and get a nice little plus money price. So that's where I am on Eflin right now. Now, I am like you. I am waiting for the lineups to come out for this one. And I'm also waiting to see if after the lineups come down the line moves any, because then that might move me to take this straight up. But under's not an option for me. But as of right now, I'd be looking to alt him and get some plus money versus paying minus 160 for this one.
This is what I love about this man next to me, guys. No homo, guys. At the end of the day, we do our own fucking work. We bet our own guys. We come up with our own write-ups, because I've seen his write-ups. I know he does this. Everything I do is literally typed out, so you get my write-ups every day on these guys. And we bet Eflin differently. And I think last year we were even, and I think this year he may be one better than me when we bet against each other. Eflin was one of those days. I bet Eflin with whiff where you bet Eflin with Chase. And that's where I get into Eflin here. And let's talk about him. Now we get to Zac Eflin versus the Royals, guys. When I look at the numbers, they're walking below league average, not striking out, while being 18th in batting average, 24th in OPS, while being 22nd in isolated power. So the numbers don't say much to me, as they're not striking out, but they're also not hitting, which can project Eflin to be out there 6 to 9 innings, which will give us ample opportunities to hit this over. Now, when I like to play Eflin, guys, it's versus a team with a high whiff percentage, as when we look at the overall numbers of the Royals, they're in the top 4 worst teams in baseball in whiff percentage.
And
so
have
Eflin
been all season, all year.
So Eflin to me right now is wait and see for me, as I have to run the lineups. I have it sitting right here with the whiff percentages and the guys who I don't want in the lineup, so that I can make a quick fucking call on it, because the line is going to move, guys. And it's just part of the life. So let's talk about it. Eflin, guys, this year, and right now the lineup projected is 3% worse than league average in whiff percent, guys. That to me is just Beavis. And let's talk about it. He's had 4 games this year versus teams in the top 5 whiff percentage and bottom 5 whiff percentage being 1.5% or worse. He is 4-0 to the over 5.5, averaging 8 strikeouts a game, guys. So this is just an easy fucking wait and see, guys. If I get the lineup that they say we're getting, I'm getting in on Zac Eflin for a full unit. This isn't a half unit. I hate the fucking juice on it, but 4-0 where you average 8, there's wiggle room for me there to where I'll bet the juice for him in the spot for me. Just waiting.
Well, and one other thing that you can think about too, if you don't want to pay that much juice, is you can just take it on the other side and just bet 1 unit straight up. Yeah, you'll get a reduced payout, but you're also limiting your risk. So, what it's not something that I'm a huge fan of. I'm normally a fan of, if you're going to go, but just know that that's an option. So really what you're doing is you're just balancing out how much financial risk do you want to take versus what potential payout you're going to get afterwards.
I mean, I also couldn't come to the conclusion are these Rays going to blast Greinke, or is Greinke going to come out and just fucking laugh me in the face? And, 'cause I was like, do I take him down to win? But if they give me the whiff percentage, I'll take him up, and I'll probably even throw a little shot on the 7 like I did last time versus the A's. Even though he fucked me in the eye hole that game, man. He had 6 through 4. I was like, we're good.
Yeah.
Nope, he fell the fuck apart.
And honestly, I would not be opposed. It sounds so weird to say, but like that you'd almost rather have an over 6.5 here at some juicy plus money than an over 5.5 juice to fuck. Like I know it sounds so weird, but usually in these situations, if you look back, if he's getting 6, he's getting 7 or more.
I liked it. I'm glad you just brought that up. I might just like 60-40 and put 40 on the 6.5. 60% of my bet on the 5.5.
Yeah.
So definitely good looking out. Glad we talked this through. Usually, we'll talk some of this through in the mornings, guys, but days that we have the show,
nope,
we do not talk to each other.
We have not said a word to each other until this show.
It's good content, man. Yep. So it's good. Works best for the people. We got 61 live, 40 likes. Appreciate those that have smashed the like. Those that haven't, if you do like what you're hearing, which you might because you're still here, smash that like button for us. The next game that we are going to talk about, there is a lot of rain in the area, and I doubt it goes. But being Friday, it is today, and we do not have a show on the weekend. I did want to touch on 2 guys, and they probably won't go today. And the first one being Logan Gilbert at the Orioles. This year, he's got a 26% strikeout percentage with a 5 walk percentage. 5+ at Caesars was the opening line at a -110. Best line available now to that over 4.5 is at BetMGM to the -125. PrizePicks has him at a 4.5, whereas pitching outs under over are at 16.5. Projected lineup: 6 lefties, 3 righties. K per 9 this season. It's pretty much dead evens across the board, guys. 9.5 home and road. Well, lefties, he's got a 9.9 K per 9, and righties, he's got a 9.2 K per 9. Let's talk us some Logan Gilbert, even though he probably plays tomorrow, but bets still got to be made.
Yeah. So, all right. So Logan Gilbert is the classic example. This happens to so many guys every year of regressing to the mean and coming back down to earth. And here's why, is that anytime a veteran pitcher or somebody that guys have seen enough where scouts can put together a pretty accurate scouting report changes his pitch mix considerably, it almost always increases strikeouts for the first month and a half of the season. The reason being is it takes guys almost half a game or half of his start to adjust. They're walking up there and they're looking for, okay, fastball to start. Then I'm looking for a curve. Then I'm going to look for a fastball or a slider. And then bam, you get a splitter that he throws pretty freaking well for introducing it to as often as he throws it just this season. So Gilbert started off the season just absolutely dominating with strikeouts, but what's been happening lately is guys have been touching him earlier. They've been touching him more often, and the strikeouts just have not been there. And that's what happens when guys catch up, because as you pitch, all these teams have scouting reports. They all have scouting departments. They put together updated metrics and everything. And so then other teams go in, especially within the division, you go in with a lot more knowledge than those that came before you. That has been one of the driving factors in Gilbert's drop-off in strikeouts recently. Now, if this game does get played, which I'm with you, Sharpie, I don't necessarily think it does. There's almost an 80% chance of at least some rain tonight. So you're looking at either a delay or you're looking at an outright postponement. For those of you that don't know, if there is a long delay in the middle of the game, that can also be very bad if you're on a pitcher's over, because they might just yank them because they don't want him to go out there and try to throw in those conditions after sitting for almost 45 minutes or an hour. But let's just say this game goes. When I look at Logan Gilbert, the big disparity I see, which is why I would not mind having a piece of the over here, again, if it plays, is Gilbert, Sharpie, you mentioned it, he has an elite walk rating, 92nd percentile, only walking 5% of guys for the season, 5.5% on the road, equally distributed to lefties and righties. Now, when I look at over the last 20 days, the Orioles have the second highest disparity between strikeout and walk rate. So their strikeout percentage isn't terrible. It's 23.5. It's above average, but it's not horrible. But when you compare the strikeout to the walk percentage, they're only walking at 5.2%. That's an 18.3% difference. That means when they go up there, they're swinging to put the ball in play. They're not taking pitches. This is also evidenced by, you look at teams over in the same period of time, and who has swung the most often outside of the zone, who has the highest chase rating. It would be the Baltimore Orioles. And their contact rating is below that 66% that I just mentioned. So if this game goes, I do think that there's enough of an opportunity for Logan to make an impact here. So I hope it does, because you might see me on the over.
Oh, man. I love the fact that you're on this show, because I was able to just go out there and just hammer fucking the lineup the whole time while you talked. I fucking love it. Now I've got to figure this out. Do I really want to fucking run Bassett? My fucking heart says yes. Oh, okay. Let's talk Logan Gilbert quick before I figure out Bassett, because I thought I was going to be sneaky with Gilbert, guys, and pull one over on the books, and no, they put him at fucking 4.5. I was actually looking at his under personally, guys. Let's talk about their numbers right quick. They're not the only thing they are doing is walking, guys. And wait a second. Only thing they're not doing is walking.
There you
go. Sharpie's so fucking stuck on Bassett that I can't read. As they're not striking out, guys, and they're top 3 in every hitting category. So the numbers say no, but we know numbers don't mean everything. And I was hoping to get a 5.5 so I can come on and get in on some of the under here, guys. Like I said, the books know what I know. And I like to compare pitches, guys, who do use the same pitch mix or close, and who have faced the same teams that I'm looking at. And we know Gilbert is fastball, slider, splitter, guys, for the most part. And who has the best splitter in the game? Not Ohtani, guys. He doesn't use it enough. We're talking Kevin Gausman. When he faced these Baltimore Orioles a few weeks back, 8 innings of fucking good baseball, but only 4 strikeouts, guys. If we go through who these guys have seen in the time span of these freaking 15-day numbers, they've seen some killers, guys, and it's been about a 60% to the under in that span. So maybe I do get a 5.5 tomorrow because of the rain, and they put a 4.5 out there with the rain based on the fact that this team hits the splitter well. Either which way, guys, I cannot look over on him today one fucking bit. We speak about how the books don't give away free money. This man hasn't been a 4.5 since the first 3 weeks of fucking baseball, guys. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Oh, Lord. Let's get into it, guys. And this game probably won't go either, guys, but it's definitely a guy I'm looking at as well. And we're talking about Kodai Senga, number 65 in the black book at the Phillies, 28.3 K percentage with a 13.4 walk percentage. Opening line was 7+, plus 114 on FanDuel. Well, it's now at a plus 124 because of the rain, and they're just going to take all the money they can get, but we're going to talk about it. PrizePicks 6, pitching outs under over 16.5, whereas projected lineup is 5 lefties, 4 righties. K per 9 this season, he has an 11.2 at home, 10.7 on the road with an 11.4 versus the left-handed side, and a nice 10.6 versus the right-handed side. What you got on Senga, man?
Yeah. So if this game does go, I personally can't look any other way but over here. It's probably going to be a pass for me no matter what. But when I look at this, the Phillies overall swing rating is pretty well up there. They are one of the more freer swinging teams in the league. They swing significantly above outside of the zone, and they swing 2% above league average inside the zone. So when you swing that often against a guy who can throw the type of pitch mix that Kodai Senga can, and especially when he can hit you with that ghost fork or with his breaking balls, because you just talked about it. One of his Achilles has been walks, but a lot of those have been to teams that do or can take pitches. Phillies can't do that. I've been on them a number of times this year, and this team is who they are. They do swing aggressively. They do swing early. They swing often, and they're not afraid to strike out. So, percentages aside, I look at this one and I just see how high the Phillies swinging strike rate is, which, by the way, they're 4th worst in baseball over the last 20 days at 13.2% compared to a league average of 11.1%. So you factor that over the course of a start. And if this game does go, or I think that it's going to go, I can definitely see Senga getting the over here.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Like I said, another game I don't think that will go, but I did want to get action on this, man, whether it be today or tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, an extra day of rest ain't going to hurt this, man. It's the short days of rest that we want to run from the hills on, as these pitchers are a creature of habit, and the ones from Japan are just a little bit more than the others. So we look at the Phillies' numbers over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers, and they're walking a little bit below league average, striking out at a 23% clip, being 9th in team batting average, 15th in OPS, and 25th in isolated power. And if you don't know, I look at isolated power to see how real the average and OPS numbers are. So I get it. The numbers don't really say much. So let's just go to the lineups where they're going to project 5 lefties, where in his first season in the show, guys, he's only averaging 11.4 strikeouts per 9 compared to a nice 10.6 from the right-handed side. So if we really want to get into it, who the fuck have the Phillies seen in the last 15 days? How about the only 2 guys in our book, guys, was Bobby Miller, who went and got 7 strikeouts in 6 innings of work, and Spencer Strider, who went and got 9 and 6 innings of work, guys. So I checked the projected lineups. 6 of 9 projected freaking people in this lineup have a chase percentage of 2% or worse than league average. Like this man said, you don't want to chase versus this man. And this is a day that's like, I expect tomorrow him to be minus 130, minus 140, guys. The plus money was here because of the rain, and they just wanted to hold their money, and they're holding my money right now because I looked at the rain after I bet it. So, yeah, I do have a bet on Senga right now, but I do not expect it to play as I expect them to just fucking hold my money for 5 hours and fucking do whatever the fuck they do with it. But I don't expect this to be plus money tomorrow. And if it is, then I might have to actually dig into it a little more, because then it might be worried. But definitely got to pay attention to when I put worry signs out there, because it really shouldn't be plus money. And it actually started at plus money and got bet to even, and then came all the way back up. So,
well, and now the updated forecast, if you look at the radar coming into, moderate to severe thunderstorms pretty much throughout the first hour or two of the game would be. So they actually might even end up delaying this one before the rain even starts.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think they're even going to start this game.
Yeah. I would be very surprised if this one goes tonight.
So, number 71 in the black book, Chris Bassett versus the Oakland A's, the team where he started with. This year, he's got a 20.6 strikeout percentage and an 8% walk percentage. Opened up 6+ minus 152, and I laughed my ass off. And someone hammered the under, guys, because morning line was 6+ at even money on MGM, and that's still the best line available and still at MGM. PrizePicks has a 5.5, whereas pitches thrown over on PrizePicks are 94.5. And I only put that pitches thrown in there because I think it's actually a really good play today. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties, but that's not the lineup. I believe we got 6 lefties, 3 righties.
No, 7-2.
7-2.
7-2.
See, but that's where I'm bucking into my head is, okay, we'll get into it. This year, he does have an 8.6 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and a 7.2 versus the right-handed side. At home, he's got an 8.3 K per 9 compared to a 7.4 on the road. Let's talk some Bassett.
Yeah, we might be opposite here. I'm certainly not, I don't know if I can go with an under on this one. Man, 6+ for this guy, I don't know. He certainly will face enough batters to do it. I mean, he's for average, especially lately, average plate appearances or batters faced per start, 24.2. So when you factor that in, when you take 6 divided by that, that's not a high percentage he's going to need. Now, the issue that I have here is, first of all, the lefties. So yes, it's Oakland. So some of the lefties are absolute poverty who probably should be playing AA, but Bassett against lefties at home, only 21.7% K percentage. That one gives me a little bit of a pause. What also gives me a little bit of a pause is, yes, it's Oakland, but Bassett only has a 17th percentile whiff rating. So he has been pitching to contact a lot ever since he came back, struggled a little bit, learned how to use PitchCom, dominated strikeout wise for a little bit, and now has been regressing to the mean. Well, over the last 20 days too, Oakland's swing metrics are not what you would expect. It's not what you would find if you ran it for the whole season. Overall, it's been okay. It's been all right. 27.2 or 26.6% chase rating, which is below league average, almost 2/3 on chase contact. I mean, I had this one as being just very, very, very correct. So with that in mind, it's probably one that I don't want to fuck with.
Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Now we get a matchup with Bassett on what really does look to be a matchup from the baseball gods, guys. As we look at these A's numbers over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers, they're walking a nice 9.2%. They're bottom 5 in every hitting category while being dead last in isolated power and striking out near a 26% clip. If we look at how Bassett is versus K percentages of 24 or worse since last season, he is 6-3 to the over 5.5, but only averaging 6.4 strikeouts a game, including a game versus these Oakland A's when they had a strikeout percentage of 30%. He only had 2 fucking strikeouts going 8 innings, guys. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, when I run a Bassett K prop, I care about the K percentage, but to me, last year, guys, which was going into this is why I'm having a fucking mindfuck experience right now, is I loved lefties in the lineup last year with Bassett. I need lefties, guys. Obviously, his K per 9 is better, guys. But now there's a fucking problem with lefties. And it's not the strikeout percentage, guys. It's the fucking walk percentage he has versus these lefties. It's a drastic fucking difference than from the right-handed side. He has a strikeout percentage pretty much the same right now versus lefties and righties. It's just his walk percentage goes through the roof. And it's not just that. We then get into batting average, on base percentage, and slugging. All go up over 100 points this year versus the left-handed side. Lefties are doing fucking damage versus this man. Now, are the Oakland A's really going to do damage versus this man? Like, that's the fucking question, guys. Good pitching beats good hitting, and this man has been a fucking Terminator at home, where he's got a 2.2 ERA compared to a 5.5 on the road. I got my lineups. I thought I was going to need righties, guys. And realistically, I'm going to go a half unit right here, guys, because his strikeouts are better versus lefties. And when I look at him and the strikeout percentage, I get it. But there is the volatility in there that this dude runs into problems because he's fucking letting lefties hit the dog shit out of him. Now, if we got runners on second, that may be a good thing, because he has to go for the strikeouts, guys. I got Bassett at home right here, where he's been a better pitcher. Now, if he gets into a problem walking people, then I ain't going to get there, guys. It just is what it is. But 7 lefties, where this man over the last 2 seasons has a strikeout K per 9 of 2 or higher versus the left-handed side. He may run into some trouble getting hit, guys, but he may end up getting them strikeouts while getting hit. So I'm going to go half unit on Bassett right here. And I may just be running myself into a fucking wall. So, yeah, is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one. The K percentage is still there when I run the lineups, but they are walking at a 9.7%. And that may be the end of fucking Bassett when it comes to his over today. So, hopefully he's locked in. He's been locked in at home. And fucking dick, don't do me dirty, bro. All right. Next guy, last guy on the board is Lucas Giolito versus the Red Sox. Number 47 in the black book this year. He's got a 24.5 strikeout percentage and a 7.7 walk percentage. Morning line, they opened. Best line available was on FanDuel at 6+ minus 120. Now DraftKings has the best line available to the 6+ at a minus 122. PrizePicks has him at a 5.5, whereas earn runs under over are at a 2.5. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties. K per 9 this season. He has an 8.9 at home with a 9.7 on the road. 9.3 both ways of the plate. Which way are you looking on Lucas Giolito today?
Yeah. Remember when I said that I might be looking to pair somebody with Eflin if he stayed at 5.5? This actually might be one to take down for me, to take down to 5 and pair it with somebody. So, I mean, Giolito, when he has his stuff working, can be a very, very, or close to an elite level when it comes to strikeouts. The problem always for me is that, yeah, it's been a little shakier lately, but Boston still owns a very, very low strikeout percentage. They also have a very, very high take percentage. And that matters to me because Giolito only gets a first pitch strike 61.7% of the time. Normally, for those that have seen me talk about this before, I do look for that 60% or better. But that is a very, very baseline metric. When it comes to a starter, like basically, when the better the pitch or the higher the strikeout number is, the better I want the first pitch strikeout number to be. Giolito's at 61.7. Boston is only at 62. I would much prefer those numbers to be in the 63, 64%. For those that don't know, when teams go down 0-1, on average, they strike out almost twice as much than when they go 1-0. So Boston, when they go up 1-0 in the count, has an extremely low, I think under 17, strikeout percentage. And Giolito does not throw enough first pitch strikes for me to get there for this one, especially a team that can be as disciplined as Boston. As of late, their swing metrics have been they've been okay, been all right. What they're really, really good at here, though, is making contact when the ball is inside the zone. They make contact almost 87% of the time on pitches that are in the zone. So for me, I would much rather take Giolito in this instance, and I would rather alt him down one and try to pair him with somebody to get a better price.
Did you say pitches in the zone? Because that's not Giolito, baby.
No, it's not. Well, that kind of goes back to what I said about his first strike. That kind of goes back to what I said about his first strike percentage.
Hey, it's better than last year, bro. What? I think his walk percentage was like 11 or something. He was bad last year.
Yeah, he was.
Almost got to the point of me stop betting him. I was like, bro, fuck. And I think even sometimes this year, that can be the end of him sometimes. Let's talk me some Lucas Giolito, guys. And yeah, guys, he's going up against my no-fly zone Red Sox, meaning that we need good reasons to run K-props versus this team because more often than not, this is just where our overs have gone to die on K-props from right-handed pitchers. At first glance, I thought I wanted this, man, because as of 2 weeks ago, they were running 6 lefties out there, guys, and that's the type of fucking lineup I want to fucking run a fucking K-prop. But now, guys, I'm looking at 5 righties and 4 lefties in the projected lineup. Now, the more lefties, the better, guys, at the end of the day when I like to run Gio. If I get 6, you might fucking see me get in on that no-fly zone right there, guys, at the end of the day. But I just don't know what they're going to do. Even though the numbers say they're walking below league average, yet not striking out, while being 9th in batting average, 10th in OPS, 17th in isolated power, the numbers don't really fucking say much right there, guys, to me. Like, period. The most number I care about, they're walking below league average. If you're not going to walk versus Gio, you could be in versus some fucking long days because he's going to be nibbling the whole fucking time. And, that's just the way Gio gets down, guys. So is what it is. So at the moment, I am not in. But if the lineup does come out and I do get 5 or more lefties in that lineup, you may see me holding my nose and getting involved at the moment. But at the moment, I just got to let him go because he was in a great matchup the other day, guys, a couple weeks ago versus Seattle. And that lineup came out and they popped out 7 right-handed bats on his ass, guys. So I cannot run a K-prop versus a 6 right-handed type of lineup, guys, with Gio. Just more often than not, dude. Righties seem to be the death of that, man. Even though you would think a right-handed pitcher could handle the fucking right-handed side, but guess not. Is what it is. Any extra things to add in on Gio?
Nope, I am good on Gio.
Want to touch any extra pitchers since I know you said it was a good day?
Yeah,
I didn't give him too much.
There was a question before I lost it about, I think it was, about why Bello is at plus money today for the over. Let me get my notes on Bello up.
That's a guy I've actually been eyeing. He's not in my book, but dude, he's a few more starts away from me betting on the guy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he might be. He's been going 7+ innings, or 6+ innings. I'm sorry, in each of his last 3 starts. They got him cranked up now to 100 pitches. And where the White Sox have struggled this year, just consistently, is pitchers who can bring high heat. So Bello's fastball averages 96. And but the problem here is that he doesn't always run it. He doesn't always run it up. He sometimes runs it like middle in, and those are the types of pitches that the White Sox can get a hold of. So it's not the worst play in the world to take him here, but when you look at his overall performance on the road, I mean, he pitched 7 innings in New York, only had 3. He pitched 6 innings in Atlanta, only had 5, and he pitched 5 innings in Milwaukee and only had 3. So I think part of this line is coming from the fact that his history to this number has been really spotty lately. But if you think that he is going to try to run that 4-seamer up more in the zone, I mean, it was one of my tout plays, Brian Wu, because that's what he does better than a lot of young pitchers, and they just couldn't even touch it. So if he's going to stay lower and more middle in the zone, it's a shaky proposition. If he's going to try to run it up, which he is capable of doing, the White Sox just whiff like crazy at those pitches.
Yeah, what's crazy, bro, is I looked at Bieber and then I shook my fucking head like, don't you fucking do it. He's just going to let you down. He's just going to let you down.
Shane Bieber to you is Blake Snell to me.
No, bro, we're back. We are both liking Blake Snell again, bro.
I like him.
We're back. We're friends. We are friends, Blake Snell. I love you. It's Shane McClanahan I'm mad at right now.
He's figured it out. He's figured it out and he's got it humming. So good on him.
Please God, please God, please God. Please God, please God, please God. Lineups came out for the Royals. We are going to put in Eflin and fuck you. That's what I'm talking about. Not taking this fucking stupid fucking waiting for the lineups and then it gets steamed immediately.
Oh yeah.
All right, so like I said, I'll just end up fucking since we're on the show, dude, I'm just gonna not have to tweet the shit out. But I'm gonna take them up to that. That's plus 124 to the six and
Yep.
a half. I'm
Yep.
gonna go
Yep.
half unit there because I'm not gonna chase it. But shot, I might go full unit once I look more into the lineup. So I'm gonna for sure go half unit, guys. I'll tweet out if I go full. I want to make sure the top lineup is heavy on that whiff rate and not that it's. I don't like guys if I'm looking at a whiff percentage and the top 3 guys in the lineup that they're not going to strike out. Then that means I'm not getting that from the top third way through, which means I probably won't see the middle of the third of the fucking lineup, guys, because he's going to get hit again. So something that I talk about learning from my losses, that is something I've had to learn from, guys. And yeah, I forget the last time I ran it, but it was it was versus the Rays, and I ran somebody with who needed whiff, and Franco doesn't strike out whiff percentage, and Diaz doesn't, and Paredes doesn't, and they were fucking 3 of the top 4, and he hooked me. So you got to learn from your mistakes sometimes, guys, and I've got to make sure they don't stack that lineup. I know they put Witt at a different spot, but he's at a 25-4. They've got Prado at a 33, Perez 30. Yeah, oh my God, this is a smash spot. I'm going full unit on the fucking 6.5 at plus 124.
I thought you might.
I don't fucking care that I missed the 5.5. I don't want to pay the juice anyways. So yeah,
Hey,
on Eflin.
Hey, like I said earlier in the show, and to those that maybe are newer to this, it might not sound very sensical about like, well, why would you want a 6.5 versus a 5.5? I would much rather get plus money and on a 6.5 for this one than I would pay heavy juice for a 5.5 any day of the week.
Bro, at the end of the day, dude, it hurts a lot worse, bro. Like I had a bad day yesterday and the day before, but because I keep my juice down, I guess they're bad days when you lose a unit. They could have been disaster days, so had bad days, and I'm still up 2.1 units right now on show bets this week, and it's just because I keep the juice down, guys. I don't think you could tell me the last time I've given something out higher than a minus 130. Like, I'll go 140, 150 for my dogs and spots, bro, but Zac Eflin ain't a dog.
Nope.
He's a chihuahua.
Well, and you know, when you compare it to pitchers, you hear it all the time for pitchers about giving up home runs. Like giving up solo shots won't kill you. It's like losing a plus money play here and there won't kill you. What kills you is losing heavy juice ones. That's
Yeah. Do you have anything to say on Edwin Sheehan? I want to hear what you have to say before I go.
Yeah,
this guy's under.
Under's the only way you can look there. I think. I don't know how you look anyway. I mean, I don't know how you look any other way for him tonight. I mean, the Astros and their lack of strikeouts recently have just been elite against everybody. It doesn't fucking matter who it is. Everyone. This is what happens. This is what happens with this squad, right? Now they have their full lineup back. Now that they're getting in a groove, they're just literally not striking out. It doesn't matter if the number is 4.5, 5.5. It doesn't make a difference. They're just going constantly under. So if you are going to play this one, you got to look under. To me,
yeah.
I saw the Sandoval over 5Ks at Coors. I think I tweeted somebody too.
I didn't even look into it like you did. You spit on it all over, bro. He ain't ever pitched in Colorado.
He's never pitched in Colorado. His main pitch that he throws, the highest percent of the time, over 30%, is a slider. Sliders break an average of 1 to 2 inches less at Coors. You factor that in with a guy that's never played there before, and who can be wild to begin with. I mean, Sandoval's walk percentage on the road this year is 13.7%. Woo, baby. That's a lot. The Rocks at home are about 9%. That's league average against lefties. It's just something where, you know, if he adjusts to the atmosphere early enough, he can hit this with ease. Watching him and watching like his just wild tendencies, man. I mean, I had him in an alt parlay against the Royals, who, as we talked about, are one of the swing and whiffs teams in the league, and he was just throwing shit in the dirt. I'm like, just throw it at him. They'll swing and miss, dummy. Now, thank God he hit it, but it was a low number and he did not hit it till deep. That it's a lot of risk for potentially not a lot of gain. That's just my thought on Sandoval.
Yeah, my thing on my Dodgers pitcher, he's a 2-pitch pitcher. Throws a fucking 96 to 99 mile per hour sinker baller. And he's got a nice changeup. The Astros, over the last 3 years, are the best high velocity fastball hitting team. So that's why I was looking at the other. I was like, dude, you're a 2-pitch pitcher. They're going to fucking sit dead red on you all day, bro. So what if they miss once or twice? You got to come at a fastball with them, and this team hits fucking fastballs.
Yep.
That's what they do. Whew. There was a lot of guys, though, that aren't on my list that like you said, this looks like a great day today. And my thing with the White Sox and Bello is I've noticed they chase like a motherfucker, bro. Their chase percentage is stupid. So to go with that high velocity, man, I don't know what Bello throws as his breaking pitch, but if it's if it's a slider, man, I saw Yuri dominate them fastball slider over here. Like you said, they struggle versus high velo, and their normal lineup is 2% higher than league average chase rate. So they don't whiff, they don't strike out inside the zone. But goddamn, are they some impatient bastards over there in White Sox land?
For anybody, if you ever want to look for a pitcher to take for an over against the White Sox, averaging 95 on their four seam, and when you look at zone charts, they can run it up. If they run, not can they if they absolutely have to. If they run it up to try to get strikeouts, those are the kind of guys that the White Sox have all kinds of problems with. And part of it is because they are swinging in that zone. So if you're running it up, they're going to swing right underneath it.
Yeah, Noli, he's a sinker baller. Hey, speaking of Sandoval, isn't he a sinker baller? That's why I don't play him strictly because I know he's a guy who looks for ground balls, man. Like, that's just not the type of look I look for in strikeout pitchers.
Yeah, Sandoval Sandoval is 30.3% slider, 26.6 changeup, 25.7 four seam, and then he has a curve and a sinker that he throws maybe 10 to 12% of the time.
Oh, so he ain't that bad. Okay, cool.
Nah, it's all right.
I know last year he was a lot more on that cutter, I think, instead of the four seam. So maybe he has switched it up. But yeah, speaking of sliders not working in Colorado, Yuri found that out the hard way by kept throwing it over and over and over and over again till he lasted 3.1 innings. Because these Rockies, they are patient at times, guys. That's one thing that they have been over the year, is they will take their walks, and Sandoval has been wildly inconsistent to the point to where I stopped even looking to bet his outs because fuck, man. Dude's been ass to me every time I bet on him. All right, guys, quick little recap today on the Balking Dead. For those showing up, please smash that like button. It does help a lot. Today on the Balking Dead, we talked our normal 6 guys, and we started off with Luzardo versus the Pirates, and I put a half unit on the over 6.5 at plus 125, as I would have went full unit, but Garrett had to have the game of his life yesterday. Is what it is. Then we talked 2 games that probably won't go due to rain, but this show is Monday through Friday, and it being the weekend tomorrow, I still wanted to touch on them. And the lean was Gilbert under, and the bet will be Senga over 6.5. I did get in at plus 114, but like I said, I will not be surprised if we see some real juice on that 6.5 when they play tomorrow. Then we talked 2 guys of ours that look to be in great spots, guys, the way we like to bet on them. But I needed lineups, guys, and by the time the lineups came out, there was too much juice on Zac Eflin that I'm comfortable taking him at 6.5 for a full unit at plus 124, where I wasn't comfortable for a full unit on Chris Bassett. I went a half unit on Bassett over 5.5 at minus 110. I may double up on his outs once I go look at a few more things, so pay attention to Twitter, and I will tweet that out if I do double up on Bassett. Last game of the day that we did talk about was Lucas Giolito, and right now it's just a lean, but I do lean the over right here, which is crazy to say, but the Red Sox have been a bitch, to say the least, to overs on right-handed pitchers' K-props. We now have timestamps, guys. At the end of the show, I will be putting them in for the pitching segments today. Appreciate you, my guy. glad work let you finally make it back on the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. Want to tell these people where they can find you and what you got going on?
Yeah. Well, in about an hour, you can find me on a golf course. That's how few meetings I have the rest of the day. But on Twitter at SpinDocSports, and usually have a tout play for the day. I should be tweeting that soon. I'll probably be tweeting it from the green somewhere or from a tee box somewhere. Yeah, at SpinDocSports.
At SpinDoc Mother Trucking Sports, guys. If you don't follow him, you're probably just don't like money, or you've been blocked because you're a fucking cock. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks, guys. If you haven't, go over there and use that promo code PubSports. Get a match deposit up to 100, minimum of 25 on your first deposit by using the best promo code in the whole wide world. Until next time, guys, I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show is produced by Big Show Picks. Our guest today was SpinDoc Sports. Some say we be pubbing. I say, fuck you, Cash!
Keep firing, assholes!